All right, ladies and gentlemen, Jose Rodriguez with TNGF.com. Dean Thomas grand opening here in Stuart, Florida of his brand new school. And we just got an opportunity to witness the open training session that he just had here and getting prepared for his Mayorga fight May 15th. This is a different fight because it is boxing versus MMA. How has this affected your mental preparedness leading up to this fight?
Well, in a sense, this is a different fight because, it is boxing and MMA, like you said. But I think the important thing for me is to remember that I'm an MMA fighter. He's coming into my world. And, the reality is that, like, it's almost a little bit easier to prepare for because there's not a lot of things I have to be concerned with. I don't have to go back and study his tapes, find out which way he's going to pass guard or he probably don't even know what a guard is. So, for me, there's one thing I got to worry about, and that's, the hand speed and the hand skills of Mayorga. And so the training for that, and mentally, I just have to really be concerned with that. So, I mean, believe it or not, sometimes less is more. So sometimes when you're just concerned with one thing, it can start to get to you. But, I just have to remember where I come from, remember who I am, remember what I do, and that's win fights.
Do you think he's been training on his ground game and kicking?
No, I don't think so. I mean, reality is, I don't think Mayorga's been training on the ground too much. I know he's been in an American top team before. I totally don't think he respects the MMA world. When you talk to any boxing fan, they don't really respect MMA guys. So I couldn't expect him to respect MMA guys. I couldn't expect him to go, you know what, I need to learn the ground, I need to learn how to defend kicks. It's just not going to happen. I mean, he's a little bit older in the game. He's not a spring chicken. I don't think he's going to go back and study and say, you know what, I got to be able to block kicks, be able to do this, do that, defend a takedown. I think he's going to be concerned with one thing. That's building up his power, knock me out. I respect every opponent. It's not to say that I like him as a person. I respect him as a person. I respect his power. You got to respect his power. I mean, he knocked out, Vernon Forrest. He knocked out Mosley. The guy can hit. He could crack.
Do you expect it to be a brawl on the feet, or do you expect it to go all over the place?
No, it's going to be a shutout. Like, honestly, I don't really respect his technique as a boxer. I think that over the years, I think he's gotten worse as a boxer. I think his power stayed the same, but I think he's gotten worse. He lives a wild lifestyle. You can't be a professional athlete and live a lifestyle that he does. So I'm not afraid to stand with him. I'm not afraid to punch him in his face. As you just saw, I just got done my workout now. I'm working a lot of boxing. So I'm not afraid to hit him and stand up with him and move around and do the thing, what I'm saying? So, whatever he wants to do, if he want to go on the feet, man, I'm here to, the fight gonna start on the feet, and I plan on staying on my feet and watch him drop.
Now, let me ask you this. I know a lot of people have talked about Mayorga and his smoking and his drinking, and is it real? Is it fake? Is it something that he's just doing to get into your head?
Whether it's real or not, I don't care. I know he's going to come and bring the best Ricardo Mayorga that day, and that's all I'm concerned with. I do know he smokes, and I'm pretty sure he drinks and lives a wild lifestyle, but I know he's going to show up that day and perform. I think the victory for me means so much to the sport of MMA because it's always that debate of who's better, MMA or boxing, MMA and boxing. And this is the second time it's happened. The first one was Tim Sylvia, Ray Mercer. Tim Sylvia kind of fumbled, he dropped the ball. I'm the second one, but this is a higher profile fight than other ones. So it means a lot to MMA. I mean, this is going to go down, and it's a big time fight. So I'm preparing hard for this.
In your own words, tell us about that press conference.
Yeah, I'll tell you, the press conference took place in New York City. It took place in New York City. It was a lot of fun, going to it. Being the main event is a big deal for me. But it was a bit different because I'm not used to an opponent coming in and disrespecting another fighter in that fashion the way he did. So it was very different for me. He said a lot of things, and I can see his attention and his intentions and his emotion was there. But I didn't know what he was saying, and I still don't know half the things he was saying. Everybody just goes, it's almost like this taboo, something he said that was real taboo. Everybody's like, man, she left a lot of stuff out. Oh, I'm like, what'd he say? And they're like, man, I can't even say it. Like, even my boy's like, man, I can't even tell you what he said. So like a lot of the stuff that he said, I still don't even know. But I just know that his emotions was there. His intention was to say some slanderous things, and I'm gonna make him pay for every last word he said. At the end of the day, when he's back in the dressing room when the fight's over, he's gonna be like, you know what, man, these MMA guys are something else.
There was some shoving, there was some hitting. At one point, you kind of fell backward. Tell us about that point.
All right, now watch this. Let me show you something. Watch this. You see where I'm at right now? Watch this. All right. It's called a level change. All right. So instinctively, when I got hit, I changed levels. I changed levels. So everybody's like, oh, he got knocked out. He was dazed. I changed levels to attack. And, when I ran into the bouncer, That guy, I mean, if you've seen him, he was pretty big. So as soon as I hit that guy, I was like, boom, he was like hitting a wall. So I was like, you know what, I'm not going no further with this. So I stopped and relaxed. So I changed levels, I hit the bouncer, and I stopped and relaxed. And everybody was like, next thing I know, everybody was like, man, did you get dazed? Did you get dazed? And I'm thinking, I'm like, I didn't really understand why. Because like when I saw him swing, it kind of, his knuckle kind of like grazed my face a little bit. I mean, it didn't really make too much contact with me to even daze me. But I just saw his knuckle kind of come up and hit me. And if you can see on the video, I put my hand up afterwards, ready for another one. As I changed levels, I put my hand up and boom, changed levels real quick. But you know, no damage done. I'm ready to go. It wasn't really even the hit that got to me. It was the fact that he blew smoke in my face that got to me, and that's why I was like, man, I gotta get this guy. I'm gonna get this guy.
So Shine Promotions, they're going to the ring format instead of the octagon. How comfortable are you fighting in a ring?
You know, honestly, I'm really comfortable in the ring. I mean, for me, it doesn't matter where we fight. I mean, Mayorga could walk through them doors right now, and I will punch him in his mouth. It doesn't matter where I fight. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've fought in the ring plenty of times. In Japan, I fought in the ring. You know, I fought in the ring. And, you know, in fact, not my last fight, but the fight prior to my last fight was in a ring in the Roy Jones Jr. boxing show. So, fighting in the ring doesn't matter for me. In fact, I actually prefer it a little bit. So, you know, it doesnn't matter. I'm gonna still dog this guy. Right now, I'm doing probably the majority of my training right here at the Treasure Coast American Top Team. There's no ring here. There's no cage here. It's just me and my partner, me and my opponent. So when we get into that ring, it doesn't matter. You know, it doesn't matter if there's ropes, cage. I don't care if there's barbed wire on the end. It doesn't matter for me. It's going to be me and him, and I'm taking it to him. This is Dean Thomas here at Treasure Coast American Top Team. Give a shout out to TNGF, the next great fighter. Sign up, y'all. Dean Thomas, one love.